China has advanced its naval power contest with the US with the commissioning of the Fujian, Beijing's third aircraft carrier, but the first to be designed and built in China. The carrier's electromagnetic-assisted launch system puts it on par with the US's most advanced Ford-class carrier. However, USS Gerald R. Ford has the advantage of being nuclear-powered, while the Fujian is steam and diesel-powered. Derek, let me ask you, so for some time, analysts have said China doesn't need aircraft carriers to take Taiwan. But, you know, what kind of advantage does the Fujian give to China?
Well, there's still questions about their intention to have 3, maybe 4 aircraft carriers going forward. Aircraft carriers could be used for, it's used for power projection. It's used to do land operations from carriers. It's mobile, it's agile, it could be used for blockade and to keep folks at bay. A lot of the Chinese strategy is to keep outside forces away.
So that's the US from Guam and Hawaii.
Or Japan. They have other capabilities that allow them to do it. So why do they need these massive platforms, which even those in the United States have thought, do we really need these still?
Because they're vulnerable too, aren't they?
They're vulnerable, and there are anti-carrier missiles. But I think a lot of this is about status, and I think it's about intimidation. I mean, it sends a signal. It's a symbol as much as anything, as much as a capability. Capability is actually hard, and the Chinese are still working the capability. They have to train. They haven't operated ever on off these things. They have to go a long way to make these truly hard for other forces to deal with. But I think it signals a dominance in the region. It signals, is a symbol of power.
So you do think it's more symbolic than?
I think it's both. Right. I think there's a real symbolic component, a major symbolic component, but I think it obviously has capabilities that are of concern.
So, Randy, I mean, when you scan the media, they're talking about, changing the balance of power because of, maybe the fourth, perhaps a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Do you think it does? Does the US need to be concerned?
Well, we have concerns about the direction of the Chinese military and the PLA Navy for sure. For me, I don't know that the addition of a 4th aircraft carrier is something that tips the balance. I think the problem is we'll never match them in mass. The number of surface platforms and subsurface platforms they can put to sea will always be superior to our numbers. So we have to think in terms of coalitions, how we can leverage our allies with shared interests, how we can have higher quality, if not meet the numbers, that we have a qualitative edge, and that comes through the whole architecture of ISR and communications, command and control, and really the art of conducting modern warfare operations. I mean, aircraft carrier operations are difficult. Night landings and launches are difficult. And, I think we would still have an edge qualitatively, but that's the kind of thing the Chinese are working on in addition to acquiring these platforms.
And that must be why they must be so against, for example, the nuclear submarines, being deployed by South Korea and possibly Japan as well as Australia. Do those nuclear submarines complicate that picture of naval power in the region?
I think they do. And as I said, if you're going to do things beyond coastal defense, then a nuclear-powered submarine gives you that capability. I think they also dislike that these are programs that are going to bring the United States and allies closer together. When President Trump went through Asia, he talked about shipbuilding. He talked about this cooperative effort with South Korea. So at the broader strategic level, what the Chinese don't like is that our allies are coming closer to the United States, not being divided and not being separated.